But I remember I got it in my head that I wanted to dance and that the best place for my talent to manifest itself was going to be cheerleading tryouts. I know. It didn't go exactly the way I'd planned. The laughter was a pretty good indication. I remember the table with all the cheerleaders and their ironed out hair and their perkiness. And it wasn't polite behind my back twitters either. It was in my face, side-splitting guffaws of laughter. Every head was thrown back, so all I could see was this row of nostril tunnels and dangling tonsils. I was devastated. I wrote that down in my diary as one of my worst days. But if I'd known then what I know now. Shoot, if we all knew then what we knew now, right? I would have danced anyway. I'm gonna dance anyway. And I don't care what you tell me or what it says when I turn on the TV. I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna throw my arms out and dance even if the undersides jiggle like a bat's wings. I'm gonna choose to write a new story because I'm not the author of my fairy tale. I'm not the reader, I'm the author of my fairy tale. And so are you. You have the power to write your own story. And sometimes late at night when everybody's asleep and the shades are drawn and the lights are turned off, I'll turn on that music. I'll lower that pole. And I'll dance. And sometimes, I don't care what anybody says, sometimes I am really, really good. And I started to learn the importance of humor and staying on the funny side of life. And again, happiness is a choice. And if you choose it enough, one day you'll wake up and it just is. And from a purely business perspective, funny sells. I'm just saying. So I learned to see where it is I wanted to go, and I learned to believe that I could get there. And that's not always a one-step process. It can be hard when you deep down in your heart don't believe that you're worth it. You have to retrain and reprogram and feed your brain. And feelings follow thoughts and actions. People say all the time, Kelly, aren't you scared? I said, you bet I'm still scared. I create new reasons to be afraid everywhere I go. And I said, but the difference is I'm not going to let it own me. The difference is my dream is bigger than my fear. The difference is I'm going to jump anyway. Because I've learned that feelings follow thoughts. I can't say it as well as Nicole did, but it's the same kind of thing that you've been hearing today. Act it first. Think it first. Feel it second. But I don't feel brave. Act brave. But I don't feel excited about going to work. Act excited about going to work. Fake it till you make it. I need you to believe in you. That you're stronger than you think you are. That you're smarter than you may have ever been told. That you are more valuable than you may even know. I believe in you, and we just met. So now it's time for you to go believe in yourself. I will see, I'll believe, and then I'll do. Life is hard. My charming prince, he did come riding up. Not on a white horse, he came up on a white pickup truck. And he was nothing like the order I'd put in for him. He was much better, I must say. Because sometimes you don't get what you ask for. And it turns out you get something even better. And we're at that part of the happily ever after that fairy tale didn't tell you about, that next chapter. Where the honeymoon is ended, real life is set in, and suddenly you're getting a good idea what forever's gonna feel like. Where the charming prince has grown a spare tire. Or the princess has developed anger issues. And your dreams of rocking on the front porch into the twilight of your life turns into unpaid bills, dirty laundry, and dreams of killing him in his sleep. I'm just saying. Where the all-night hanky-panky turns into, come on, babe, we got 5 minutes before Law and Order starts. Where you go from thinking, oh, how cute it is when he drools in his sleep, to dear Lord, please forgive me, but if that man's nose whistles when he eats a sandwich one more time, I'm gonna claw my eyes out. tell you this, I married a man who is about one hair's breadth away from being a saint. I do not deserve him. He got the short end of the stick. And I actually turned to my prince and I asked him the other night, I said, "Sweetie pie, would you please stop making that breathing noise?" He's like, "Seriously?" He said, "Now, are you telling me you got a problem with the way I breathe?" I said, "Well, I'm just saying." I said, "I can't help it that nothing I do ever bothers you." He said, "Is that what you think?" He said, did you ever consider that you do a lot of things that bother me? I just don't feel the need to point them all out." That's a good man right there. I told him, I said, "I know what it is that would make us happier. You know, like the couples we all think are all happier than us because they're holding hands and they're rubbing shoulders and they're sitting in those bathtubs, holding hands, looking out over the wheat fields in all the commercials." I said, "I know what we need." I said, "We need us a song." We never had a song. You know, all these happy couples, they had a song. He said, "All right, what song do you want?" I said, "I'll take Wind Beneath My Wings." "Did you ever know that you're my hero?" I said, "What song do you want?" He didn't hesitate. He said, "I'll take Pink Floyd's I Have Become Comfortably Numb." So we don't have a song. We do have a date night, though. That's not, I don't recommend a date night. I take Mondays and he takes Thursdays. That's working out really well. My friend told me that she had her husband's handprints made up into cement and put on a plaque on the wall. I said, "Why?" She said, "So if something ever happens to him, I'll be able to walk by and put my hand in there and always remember what it felt like to have his hand in mine." I said, "Shoot, I got that. You can come over to my house and feel his butt print on the recliner." I said, "I didn't pay a dime." I said that story. I went to Canada and I was convinced that in Canada nobody would be able to understand me, and I was right. And I told that story and they got this really confused look on their face. You know, you get this look in the audience. They're all like, they don't understand and they're whispering and they're writing stuff down. I got no idea what's going on. Then they laugh at a really weird place and I got no idea. I get all the way through it and we get out in the lobby and they're coming up talking to me and I see this little group of ladies and I was totally the proverbial bull in the china shop, if you know what I mean. Because they're all quiet and reserved and they're all coming up and they're in a little huddle and they're like, "You tell her, no, you tell her, no, you ask her." So I said, what? And they're like, "Exactly how is it that you get cement on the walls?" They did not hear the T in cement. When I said, husband had his handprints made up in cement on the wall. Now I'm edgy, but I'm not that edgy. They're like, "How did you get cement on the wall?" I was like, "What?" They weren't sure how we get it up in a plaque. They're like, "Didn't see that in Glamour." And this other little group of ladies comes up, they're like, "Oh, we know. Hey, she's in cement with a T. Hey." They all started laughing, so anyway, I thought that was pretty funny. But anyway, I'll tell you one thing I've learned about marriage is it changes. And so many couples have problems because they hit this point in their marriage and they're like, "You are not who I married." Duh. I mean, yeah. I don't have the parachute pants and the big hair anymore. Life changes. You can't pick me up and throw me against the refrigerator anymore. Nah, please. Just a joke. Life changes. We don't stay the same. And yet we fight change. We fight it. We want to stay comfortable. We want to stay safe. We want to stay in our comfort zone. And you can't fight change because the one thing that is going to get you from where you're stuck to where you want to be is change. And you've got, in order to come out of your comfort zone, you're going to have to be uncomfortable. It's just the way it is. I'll see, I'll believe, and then I'm going to take action. And yeah, there's no guarantee that it's going to work. And it's going to be scary. And yeah, you might fall. Jump anyway. I used to be a part of a church. I was on a vision casting committee at the church, which is just all shades of scary, I'm just saying. And we created this great new vision. And I'm going to tell you, in my eyes, it was what they would call a dying church. The average age was seniors, no young families. And their vision was to create this vibrant picture of what it used to be and to bring all these young families in. And it was a great vision. And they had it crafted and they saw it and they believed in it and it was wonderful. There was just one problem. They weren't willing to change to get there. To get from where you're stuck to where you want to be, you have to change, or you wouldn't be stuck. In my industry, the ones who made it through this tough economy were the ones who looked at change and embraced it and said, okay, I'm not going to see this as an obstacle, I'm going to find the opportunity in it. And they jumped anyway. I will see, I will believe, and then I will do. And beyond that, I'm going to simply trust the Cape. You see, my son was 6 years old, and he was missing both front teeth. His hair was crooked where he had cut it. He had on the same cowboy boots he'd had on for weeks. And he comes tearing down the hall faster than the wind, and he's wearing his favorite cape that's made from a sheet and a safety pin. And he climbs on top of that kitchen chair, he throws his arms out wide, and he says, Mama, today I'm Superman. And now I'm going to fly. And I shook my head. Me, the motivational speaker. I shook my head and told him for the 100th time that day, we don't climb on furniture. You know that it's not safe. And he looked me in the eyes with a wisdom words can't weigh. And he said, Mama, sometimes there are days when you've just got to trust the game. And he tore off down the hall faster than the wind. And his little words, they just dove into my heart over and over again. For once again, that boy taught me what books and degrees never could. And that's that your life can't always be lived in the ought tos, must, and shoulds. Yes, you can work and you can prepare, and honey, you will learn from every mistake you've made. But sometimes you're going to stand on that cliff, and you've just got to jump. And simply trust your Cape, knowing that you may fall, not knowing where you'll land, and not knowing is there going to be anyone waiting to catch you with outstretched hand. But if you miss your mark, I promise, you won't care. Because I believe you will have already found it while you were flying in midair. Now my son's outgrown those cartoons and his boots many times replaced, but I pray, no matter what, he'll still hold on to that cape. I'll see, I'll believe, I'll do, and then I'm going to simply trust my cape. I hope our paths cross again. Find me, my door's open. Put me in your network if you're so bold. Funny Motivational Speaker is my Facebook page. I'd love to stay connected. I hope that you stay on the funny side of life and that you get a chance to come back to my tiny little town and meet some more of the characters in that place where the simple life is revered, ordinary heroes are appreciated, and the stories are never fancy. They're just about the people who teach me that somewhere over the rainbow seems so far, till you find that your pot of gold sits right where you are. Then that over the rainbow fades away once you open your eyes and find there's a whole new way. Yeah. If a woman with a mop can sing like that, so can we. Thank you. I'm Kelly Swanson. It was really nice to meet you.